Hello everybody. So this video has been a long time coming. Apologies to the one person who subscribed to my channel off of the first couple of videos I made. Yeah, just life got in the way. Hadn't had time to make follow-up until now. So anyway, I've gotten to the end of the trading career, or into the trading year, and I'm now feeling just absolutely confident in this trading strategy. The return has not panned out exactly like I thought it would, but it's still doing extraordinarily well by my standards. As was the case with the last video I made, nothing in this video is to be taken as investment advice. These videos I'm making are strictly for educational and entertainment purposes only. So, looking at the screen here, you can see a list of these are all the current calls and puts that I have contracts out for. Up here you can see the average annualized option return for the 590 trades that I've completed over the last year. Note though that I've rolled so many trades so many times that I've actually executed well over 1,100 trades this year. In fact, I've executed 1,172 trades because every single time I do something, it takes up a new line on this tracker. So yeah, there are a lot of trades that I've been in for a very long time. I mean, like this, this trade right here, and on M, it's a cash secured put that I've been in for 145 days. But over the course of those 145 days, I've made nearly $500, which is pretty freaking cool. I'm gonna bring up some trades that I've already closed, just so that you can get a bit better of a view of what the strategy has ended up yielding whenever trades go like the way that I want them to. So here's some stuff in late April, early March, early May. You can see, or here in this column was my return on investment for each individual trade, and then what that would have worked out to annualized based off of the number of days I was in the trade in order to get that kind of a yield. So you can see just some really, really high numbers. I mean, here's a trade that is in this trade right here for 2 days. Got in for $1.05, got out at 50 cents. So I made $54 in 2 days, risking $32 per contract, but that gave me a 1.7% return on the money that I put up, which if you'd annualize that would work out to nearly 310%. So, good luck finding a normal equity or something like that with a dividend payoff that's that solid. But that's just kind of the whole basis of this strategy and what I was going for. So I do want to point out, though, which you'll see on the next screen I'm going to bring up, I have not, this little average annual option return is not what my return has been over the course of the year. Because these are just the trades that went well. There's some other stuff, and you'll see. Let me bring this up. Okay, so this table right here is just kind of the week-by-week results of my year-long experiment. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to be looking at what has happened since March, as that is after I'd added the Bitcoin money I cashed out into the account, and after I'd gotten just my trading strategy just more dialed in. So just looking at the last 44 weeks, my average return with all the ups and downs has ended up at just shy of 1% per week, which is significantly less than the 2.17 5% weekly return on investment that I was, kind of showcasing in the last video I made, but that was also like right at the start of this whole journey before anything had really gone wrong, before too many cash secured puts had gotten filled, before just trades had gone sideways and turned into losses. And I have definitely had some down weeks, as you can see on this chart, but the average ROI has actually been increasing over the past few weeks. So I'm gonna say that that 1% per week is likely gonna be more or less where this strategy ends up sitting whenever you average everything out. So, but anyway, looking at this chart, table. The first thing to really look at is this cash equity value column. So what this is showing is the sum of how much cash I had in the account at the start of the week plus the value of the equities that I was holding at the beginning of the week. Now, for those equities, I did cap their value at whatever the strike price for a covered call that I'd put out for them would be, because I'm not purposefully holding on to anything. Like if a cash secured put gets filled, I'm immediately putting a covered call out. So with that, let's say that I have an equity that is currently trading at $22, but I sold a covered call at $21 before the price went up. The value of that equity on this chart is just going to compute as $21 per share, despite it actually being worth $22, because for me, it's only worth what I would sell it for. If the value of the equity fell to $20, though, it would be calculated at its actual value of $20. So I just thought that was a more honest way to assess the value of the account. Now, the real important column, though, is this one, the cash equity change percentage. So this strategy, again, just completely relies on the principle of compound interest at its core. So this is absolutely what I'm most concerned with. And you can see just kind of what the returns were week by week and just how everything played out. So you can see like there were some down weeks, there were some up weeks. But over here on the right, you can see what everything, like kind of the fruits of the labor of, distilling all of this information. So you can see that average weekly cash equity change percentage over the last 44 weeks has just sat right there, just shy of 1%. And then I have a little formula that takes that and compounds it so that you could see that if I held at this, that would amount to this for an annual increase in account value. And how that's played out over the course of the last 44 weeks is right here. I'm up 55.48%. A little higher, you can see just kind of how the last 6 weeks in particular have played out, which I gotta say, I'm like especially proud of this, especially after last week when just the whole market tanked when the Fed announced that like they wouldn't be cutting rates as many times as they had initially planned for 2024. And so, despite just things going belly up, I still came out 3.5% value gain, going from 79,000 to 82,000 in my total account value. And I think that that's just really, really cool. So the strategy is pretty consistently weathering downturns, loving all of the upturns, because that allows me to take more trades and just collect more premium. It's amazing. It feels like cheating. But anyway, all in all, this strategy has totally paid off. I went from a $52,000 account up to an $82,000 account, which again has been a 55% increase in the value of that account over the course of 44 weeks. I think the overall market, like if you look like the S&P 500 or something, it gained about 30% over the course of 2024, which like is still really good, but I'm nearly double that with this, and that's just looking at 10 months out of the year. Because the first 2 months, that's kind of a wash. I was still getting stuff dialed in and didn't have the experience enough to know what I was doing, and yeah, so we're not looking at that. But anyway, if this continues, I'm looking to be enjoying a very comfortable retirement 7 years from now, whenever I finish up with my current job. So I'm pretty stoked. Not sure if I'm going to be posting too many other videos. I might just maybe make another year-end review around this time next year, just so anyone following can continue to see how the strategy plays out or doesn't. Maybe not. We'll just kind of see where I'm at a year from now and see what life hands me. But anyway, to my one subscriber and anyone else that happens to find these videos later on and stick with me and just kind of check this out, thanks for the support and little view. Appreciate it. And happy trading.